Hey everybody, I'm Joey and today we're going from land to sea with these creamy garlic shrimp. Now follow me and let's turn up the tasty.
This is how we get it done. This is how we do it, do it. This is how we get it done.
There's an old proverb which says that in order for fish to taste just right, it must swim 3 times. Once in water, once in butter, and once in wine. My favorite. Oh, that's just what we're gonna show you today. So let's go ahead and get started. We are cooking with shrimp today, so obviously we're gonna need some shrimp, as they're commonly called in the US. Other countries like the UK and Australia commonly refer to these tasty, delectable little meat morsels as prawns. And yeah, there are some differences, but they're really very similar in both appearance and taste. Interestingly, whether you call them shrimp or prawns largely just depends upon where you live. I prefer larger shrimp, but really any size shrimp will do for this dish, and I already have them peeled and deveined. About 20 ounces of shrimp here. So some people leave the tails on for presentation, but I really prefer to remove them prior to cooking. If it's in my food and I can't eat it, I don't want it there. Also, make sure the shrimp are as dry as possible, and you can use paper towels or lightly press on them in a colander to remove all the water. Also, we're gonna need some bell peppers. Man, look at this bell pepper. Gorgeous, great in a variety of dishes. Green, yellow, red, orange bell peppers are all really easy to find, and they're a terrific match for this dish. Simply remove the seeds, chop them up, and these peppers become like little flavor fireworks inside your mouth. I'm using 1 cup for this recipe, and as you can see, I'm using a variety of colors. I just think it looks really pretty. You can also turn up the tasty by adding a spicy pepper like poblano, serrano, or even jalapeno. Over here we have some chopped garlic, around 3 tablespoons, some chopped white onion, about a half a cup, also some chopped parsley, this is to really finish the dish, sliced lemon, some white wine, and 3 tablespoons of butter. All necessary to cook. Oh, I forgot the olive oil and some salt, pepper, and paprika to season it up as we cook. So follow me and let's get cooking. All right, first thing we're gonna need to get cooking is we're just gonna add about a tablespoon of olive oil and 1 of our 3 tablespoons of butter. We're gonna let that get nice and hot until it really starts to come up to a bubble. We're just gonna go ahead and throw that garlic in there to let that awesome flavor, those awesome aromatics really bleed into this butter and olive oil. Now, we recently got a comment on our YouTube channel, something along the lines of, that's a really cool fake smoke effect. I wanna let everyone at home know, we don't have the budget or resources for fake smoke. All the smoke, all the steam that you're gonna see in these videos are 100% real, actual, live smoke and steam. Just wanted to clear that up. Now that's bubbling up, let's go ahead and get these tasty little meat morsels right in here, or as I call them, chicken of the sea. Now you're gonna want to let those spread out so that they all kind of get a nice sear. You don't want them stacked on top of one another. Go ahead and spread those out, give them some room. And we're just gonna let these cook here for about 2 minutes. While they're cooking, we're just gonna season them with a little bit of salt. A little bit of pepper. And, as I said, a little bit of paprika. Now here's some of that real smoke, some of that real steam coming up from the pan as it cooks. What you can't tell at home is that these are also real smells. We're not using any fake smells in our videos. They're all 100% real. I can see that these are just about done, so now we're gonna go ahead and get them out of the pan and onto this plate so we can move on to the next part, which is a really amazing garlic cream sauce. Here we go. We're gonna add 2 tablespoons of butter. And I don't know if you guys can see it at home, but we have some of those bits of shrimp which are stuck to the bottom of this pan. Those crunchy bits are truly the basis of every great sauce. We're gonna let this butter melt. But while that's getting nice and hot, we're gonna add our remaining 2 tablespoons of garlic. There you go. All right, next we're gonna add the onions. about a half a cup, and a cup of peppers right here. We're gonna allow this to cook for about 2 minutes until those onions and peppers get just a little bit soft. While this sauce is getting going, it's gonna take probably 6 or 7 minutes. One of the hardest parts of it is not eating these tasty shrimp, which are begging to be put right inside my mouth hole. I can't wait. Hopefully we'll have some sauce with some shrimp in it by the time this is ready. Look, no matter where you're at in the world, bell peppers and their relatives are extremely easy to find. They're grown by nearly every single country in the world. They help build a flavor profile for so many different types of dishes. We've featured peppers in another recipe we have coming out soon. It's actually a stuffed pepper using pulled pork. Take a look for it on YouTube. It will be out soon. All right, so this has been cooking for about 2 minutes. Now it's time to add the wine. We're gonna get our spoon and we're gonna make sure we get all those crusty bits off that stuck to the bottom of the pan. That's where a lot of flavor comes from in this dish, or any sauce as it cooks. We're gonna let this cook for about 2 minutes, let some of that alcohol burn off, all right? Now this is really important. Because we're losing so much alcohol as this cooks, it's important to get it back. So I suggest you pour yourself a glass of wine as it cooks. And remember, consuming at least 2 glasses of wine per day greatly reduces your chance of giving a shit. I suggest you give it a try. Works out well. All right, so right before we add the cream, we're just gonna add a couple tablespoons of lemon here. I've already removed all the seeds, almost all the seeds. Give that a shake. All right, now we're gonna add cream. And we're gonna let this boil for about another 2 to 3 minutes. Just let that really reduce, thicken up the cream sauce. All right, so now how will you know when your sauce is done? We'll simply put once it sticks to the back of that spoon. Look at that. You know it's done now, so let's add these shrimp back in. We're reintroducing just a little bit of new liquid from the shrimp. So we're just gonna go ahead and stir these up. Gonna throw in some parsley, give it a little bit more color. All right, now that this is done, it's ready to serve. It pairs really well with rice or pasta. It also pairs really well with a glass of wine, but really, what doesn't? Our motto at Red Meat Lover is cooking meat made easy, and that's just what we strive to show you in every single video. If you like our vid, please give us a thumbs up, like, or even better, subscribe to our YouTube channel for future updates. Your subscription goes a long way to supporting our channel, and we'd really appreciate it. And in closing, I just want to share with you that famous saying, if you give a man a fish, he eats for a day. But if you teach a man to fish well, he sits in a boat drinking beer all day long. I'll see you next time. Fantastic.